Breaking news story about retatrutide coming out earlier than expected. Retatrutide is the Godzilla of upcoming GLP-1 information or GLP-1 medication versus Tirzepatide versus semaglutide. I've got all of the breaking news for you to hear today. And as always, I will cite my sources down below. You will need to stay until the end though, because I'm going to do a tinfoil hat edition. We've got some tinfoil hat disinformation you absolutely also need to know about, in addition to this breaking news story, which is on retatrutide, which ironically was what my other story was going to be on today too. So let's dive in. Eli Lilly announced just moments ago that retatrutide, it's considered the triple G. So we have semaglutide, we have, which is Wegovy and Ozempic. Then we have next level, slightly higher. We've seen tremendous data of how much Tirzepatide, which is Wegovy and Mounjaro, does versus, I wish I had a smaller dinosaur. They're both, Wegovy and Ozempic are amazing. If you're on those drugs, they're absolutely fantastic. But slightly higher data with Tirzepatide with Wegovy and Zepbound. If you're having a weight stall and you're on the highest of Wegovy, perhaps talk to your healthcare provider about going up to Zepbound or Mounjaro. Literally, that could be the change if you're having a weight stall. Then we have Tirzepatide, which is Mounjaro and Zepbound, where patients lose up to 22.5% of their body weight on average in late stage studies. I have done a ton of news stories previously, and I'll link those. They'll be in my playlist down below. Just click the Mounjaro playlist about retatrutide. The data is overwhelmingly showing it's a higher result-based for weight loss with retatrutide. Retatrutide, it has a greater weight loss and it helps patients lose 24.2% of their body weight or 58 pounds on average in a 48-week mid-stage trial of adults who are obese to overweight. Those who took the placebo just lost 2.1% of their body weight after the same time period. So to clarify, this retatrutide is 24.2%, but at 48 weeks. Tirzepatide, off the top of my head, and so I always say check my sources, but theirs are like 68 weeks, maybe 72 weeks, but 22.5% of that study on that. So for me, if you're like me, I'm on Zepbound, the highest dose, and I've been taking GLP-1 medication the last 2 years. I've lost over 103 pounds. And literally, yeah, I'm out of breath. I ran to go share this story. Like I literally got out of the shower and was like hauling butt to get on air to share this with you. But I've lost over 103 pounds being on Zepbound and Mounjaro and Tirzepatide compound. And so the triple G, meaning it has in there retatrutide is mimicking the 3 hunger regulating hormones, GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon. That appears to have more potent effects on a person's appetite and satisfaction with food and other treatments. So this is major news, like major news, because on my previous story, I had shared about how Eli Lilly, the manufacturer and the pharmaceutical company who's building this all out for the next generation weight loss drugs, Eli Lilly had said previously it wouldn't come out until, retatrutide wouldn't come out until 2026. The fact that they're saying in 2025, that is earlier than expected. Now, I find that interesting today because earnings report got released today as well, earlier this morning, on Mounjaro and Zepbound and how they are, quote, underperforming, although they sold billions of the medication. So it's interesting, this information, you guys always know, it's interesting that this information came out today, but I am so excited about this information. I have shared all along that because I'm at the highest dose, and not that I'm on a weight stall, but I am literally clawing, gripping, fighting to get to the next level in my weight loss journey, because I am not at, I'm still technically considered obese. Even on the picture on the right, obviously with my after, that's obese with the BMI. I still technically have like, it's 27, no, how much is it? 25 pounds to get to my goal healthy weight, but around 20-ish pounds, somewhere in that ballpark, to get to a healthy BMI. So I believe, and obviously this is not, any of this video is not medical advice. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. I'm not a healthcare provider. And when we do my tinfoil segment, I'll talk more about that too. But this is huge for people like me who are stuck. Like having that extra oomph would be very helpful, because we know, and I did the story, it's coming out later this week on the 60-week mark, at the 14-month mark, people are finding weight plateaus with Wegovy, a weight plateau with Wegovy, weight plateau with Zepbound. Finding these plateaus of being on GLP-1 medication, it's not that the GLP-1 medications are not working, but at that 60-week mark, or 14-month mark, you may be like me, and we're all different, so our reactions may be different, but at that mark, it's substantially more, it's harder for me. It's not that the medication's not working, because it is. It's just not having that huge tidal wave that I had had previously. So this information literally is huge. Retatrutide is a key part of Eli Lilly's drug pipeline that works differently from existing treatments because it has those 3 hormones. Zepbound has the 2, GLP-1 and GIP. And so this has the glucagon on there. If I'm wrong on that, let me know. As always, I will issue, again, because I'm not medical, but I'll issue a retraction if for some reason any of that information is wrong. I don't think it is. But the company provided results from a study of people with obesity and osteoarthritis of the knee. So if that is you, also that is another interesting component too from Eli Lilly today. There's lots of good information coming out. So I'm very excited about this. I hope you guys are too. Now, CagriSema. We talked about retatrutide. We talked about Tirzepatide and semaglutide. CagriSema is the other medication that is higher, it was supposed to be higher than Zepbound and Mounjaro and Wegovy and Ozempic. And I don't have another dinosaur for that one. So it's this box. We'll pretend this box is that. CagriSema is still in clinical trials. That should be, if things, this is all, by the way, for retatrutide and CagriSema. If they come to market, it would be potentially in 2025. There's still more steps in that. But CagriSema did not perform as well recently with the clinical trial release information as anticipated. It's around the same ballpark as Zepbound. So keep that in your hip pocket. CagriSema is by the manufacturer Novo Nordisk, who also makes Ozempic and Wegovy. Zepbound and Mounjaro and retatrutide are by Eli Lilly. So keeping those all in mind of what's what and who's who, if you are just starting this, maybe starting then, if you're looking to do research on GLP-1 medication, always talk to your healthcare provider. I love Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN. But here's my tinfoil segment. Talk to your healthcare provider about this. This was what today's topic actually was going to be on, is on scams and dangerous information in the GLP-1 community. Literally, I saw it earlier today in my own private group, which I'll link down below for encouragement, but also proper and correct information. I certainly make mistakes. I am a human being. If I make a mistake, like I did a couple days ago, I issued a retraction and talked about why that was a mistake. Because information is so quickly coming out. And also, this is my experience, strength, and hope. So if I'm giving, I've done research on this and I will continue to do research, but the initial research I have done is on retatrutide. And Eli Lilly, if you are watching, please, please, I beg of you, please do something about this. There are websites that are selling, air quotes, retatrutide. And they are toting it. It was toted today earlier in my group, and also CagriSema as well. These websites, these peptide sites, it's dangerous, that are toting that they are selling retatrutide. I just told you Eli Lilly is not releasing retatrutide because it's going through the scientific chains that we have to keep us safe. It would be akin to me being like, okay, I'm going to put mayonnaise in 90-degree temperature, I'm going to make botulism, and I'm going to go ahead and inject that in my face like Botox. Like, to me, it's similar to that. I could be wrong on this, but then when I started doing further digging on these websites selling retatrutide, and Eli Lilly, please get these people off the market. Like, out of all the legal lawsuits, please make this one of the top things you do. This was the first one that I went to, saying that they were selling retatrutide. It's, please note, all products are for research only and are not intended for diagnostic or therapeutic use. Okay, mayonnaise at 90-degree temperature is what I read on that. Next one, legal disclaimer. Like, they go through and they're basically being like, no, all articles and product, this is the website selling it. All articles and product information provided on this website are for information educational purposes only. These products are not medicines or drugs that have been approved by FDA to prevent, treat, or cure any medical condition, ailment, or disease. Bodily introduction of any kind into humans or animals is strictly forbidden by law. But yet they're selling, quote, retatrutide. Tinfoil hat moment. It makes me so, if you guys hear my, like, I am so angered by this because it's dangerous. What TF are you injecting in your body if you're taking these, quote, retatrutide? And people in my group were doubling down, taking retatrutide, doubling down, taking CagriSema. They have not been through the FDA chains in the US. They're also, for Eli Lilly is the one who, like, it's Eli Lilly with retatrutide and CagriSema with Novo Nordisk. Here's the next one. Our products are crafted for investigative purposes and not suitable for direct human consumption or consumers, nor are they intended for clinical or therapeutic use. Okay, so investigative purposes and not suitable for direct human consumption. Tinfoil hat moment, that scares the dickens out of me. And so people in my group, this is why I'm like a mama bear in my group. A, because I feel like it's preying, people using the name Retatrutide. Eli Lilly is going through all of these chains to release this medication properly. And then my husband and I were talking about this earlier. Pretend this is my husband. He looks hotter than a turtle. But he's like, Elizabeth, you talk about supplements in some of your videos. And I said, that's a great point, hot husband. But when I talk about them, for example, magnesium or electrolytes or things like that, I always say, talk to your own healthcare provider about them, of course. But then the other part of that is, we know what magnesium does. Like, there have been scientific trials and studies on that. I'm not injecting a foreign substance saying that you shouldn't be injecting it into my body that's not been through FDA trials or any sort of clinical research. And we know that magnesium, for example, or these other things, obviously, before taking any sort of supplement, you want to talk to your own healthcare provider. But the injection of these things and preying, to me, it's a snake oil salesman preying on people's insecurities like mine. Literally, I'm not at goal weight, and preying on insecurities of people makes me so angry because it's disinformation and it's not true. These peptide companies are toting it as, you can go back over our articles and things like that. No, boo, you're trying to sell injectables that's mayonnaise and 90-degree temperatures, and like, that to me is so dangerous. Like, when Eli Lilly went after the compound people, which they did, they're saying the shortage is over and legally that there's not a shortage, so therefore compounds for Tirzepatide can't. There's a whole legal, it's still an ongoing thing with it, but it's a whole legal thing. Those companies doing the compounds, though, there are certain ones that are the 503A, 503B, and I took a compound. So again, my husband came out and he's like, you took a compound earlier this year. I said, because legally they could, because of the shortage with that. These other companies selling these things, please put up your red alert, danger, danger. That is dangerous to me. Our second tinfoil hat moment is Lemmy Gummies by Kourtney Kardashian, the Lemmy GLP-1 gummies. Those are a scam in my humble opinion. You cannot have a gummy to be a GLP-1 medication. We have seen how long, I mean, GLP-1 medications have been out for a while. There's the lesser ones that are not as high of effectiveness, but they've been out for a while, GLP-1, the concepts of them. I don't know why I never heard of them from my doctor when I was asking about obesity, but I digress. But so these concepts of these GLP-1 gummies are it's so fraudulent. And people are they're selling thousands and thousands, it's millions of dollars now. They've sold thousands and thousands of bottles of these GLP-1 supplements. I do like a daily vitamin, for example. To me, there's like difference. It's not toting, like that to me makes sense. Having a GLP-1 supplement, there is no such thing. The pill for GLP-1s, there's the whole FDA stuff that there's more coming out with the pills, and we've talked about those in other videos as well. But like, Cagri-Simon's getting tested for a pill format. So just like on that. But having a gummy, to me, it's just so unscrupulous. Is that the right word? It's dangerous is what I'm trying to say. It's dangerous, and it's a snake oil salesman, and it's shady and it's shisty, and I don't like it. And I think having scientific based data for certain things, and my husband's like, you are opening yourself out to a whole level of the internet. And I'm like, okay, I am. Because I'd rather be known for being a truth teller and being like, this is shady, this is not right, or for people trying to make a fast buck, than I'd rather, and then people not whatever, I'd rather be known as somebody who's gonna be a truth teller and people not like me, than people buying these things and injecting, like, what are we doing here? The other one of these had on there too, they're like, we're not a 503B or 503A, the compound pharmacies, they're not those. I'm like, this is so, like, there's no regulation on that. There's been no studies done on that. Warning, warning, warning. And here's the bottom. At the end of the day, I'll take my tinfoil hat off. You do you. You do you. But you do you in correct, proper information that's not dispelling misinformation. It makes me so angry. I'm like, that is fake news. That is not true. Retatrutide is not on the market. Literally, Eli Lilly just released all this information about next generation weight loss drug Retatrutide in 2025. It is not on the marketplace, Retatrutide. And if people say that they're selling these peptides, someone's like, basically was like, open your mind, man, for biohacking. And that's awesome. My mind actually is open. I started and was one of the first people here talking 2+ years ago, over 100 injections later, with Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide about my weight loss journey. I got so much SHIT for that, people literally came for me talking about GLP-1 medication. But it was FDA approved and there was science behind it when all these medications came out. And now the proof is in the pudding, like they do work. And that's why things are getting released for GLP-1s helping with sleep apnea and heart disease and all these credible things. But someone on the internet, like, please be careful. Please be careful. And the fact that people are doubling down that these are safe, they're not safe. It says literally on the, like, read the fine print at the bottom, these legal disclaimers. Oh, if we kill you, oh, like, this is so dangerous. It's for research only and are not intended for diagnostic or therapeutic use, meaning don't use these. We're saying that to, if you kill, if you die, that we're illegally exempting ourselves or whatever. Be careful. Please be careful. Please be careful. And don't buy those Lemmy, and if Courtney Card, it scares me with the information that I have right now for intended research use and educational purposes and research use. Like, this is just stop the madness. Stop the madness. Save your money, invest it into other things. And I get so much SHIT also for being the Countess of Shopping and talking about things like my Valentine's Day shirts and sneakers that work really well for walking because we walk and we're trying to help with our muscle, or the best weights for, like, I have all these Amazon lists and I get so on a daily basis people complaining to me. I got an email earlier today about you just peddle stuff. If my name Countess of Shopping was deceptive in any manner, I mean, it's literally my name, Countess of Shopping. I do like to test and try products to tell you my opinion. Literally, that is the branding. And so if that confused anyone in any way, it's literally my name. And literally, I'm going to promote things that I do enjoy and that are helpful for my journey. But things like these dangerous injectables coming from God knows what, God knows where, that scares me. And that scares me that a lot of people are taking these. And it scares me also, here's the other thing, is in my Facebook group, I got my Facebook account shut down until March. It was a 6-month, what's the word? 6-month punishment for someone in my free group promoting these peptide stuff. I got penalized for it. And if you go to Countess of Shopping on Facebook, like, you'll see it's janky and it's whack. And you know why? It's because I'm in trouble with Facebook. They will not, I've tried to have reviews and Meta will not do anything. Like, they're like, whatever. So now all these people are copying my name because I can't get Meta verified because I'm apparently, like, I was trying to sell these pharmaceutical drugs, which I was not. It was someone in my group posted about pricing of peptide related things like this, and I, shame on me, did not read the post clearly enough. That's on me. I submitted it, and then I got 6 months of trouble. Like, when I am a video marketing strategist, and hello, I release videos on Facebook, I am under such strict jail with Facebook as a result. So if anybody's working at Facebook who you're watching this video right now, please help me. My email is in the description link down below. I would love some sort of help to get out of Facebook jail because I am stuck. I've tried appealing it. Literally, I would hire a lawyer to help me if I could because it matters that much for this community, and there's fake people popping up saying they're Countess of Shopping who aren't me because I can't get Meta verified because of that one person in my Facebook group posting this misinformation, and I got penalized for it in my Facebook group. So yeah, I'm going to be a freaking mama bear when it comes to disinformation in that free encouragement group with 16, as of right now, 16,000 people are in that group. Each and every single person in that group, I take, like, that, it matters to me. Y'all matter to me. I care about you guys, and I care about the best information possible. Of course, I'm going to make mistakes. And when I do, I issue an apology, and I also issue the proper information if I do have misinformation, because I never would want to be associated with misinformation. With the information that we have, like, I've done it over the last, I've been on YouTube now for 7 years, which is crazy. That's bananas in itself. But I will come back and say when I make a mistake, which I have. Over the last 7 years, I've made a lot of mistakes. But I've also done a lot of good things too. And so I'm taking on my tinfoil hat. That is also why I'm so passionate in my Facebook group. And people are like, you have the best Facebook group. I'm like, to me, I'm like, I know. It's because I will go the extra gamut on this to make sure I'm giving the best possible information I can. And so if for some reason these peptides with retatrutide, I've made a mistake, I will come issue an apology, but I don't think so. To me, retatrutide's not released yet. And we just had the news breaking story directly from Eli Lilly and cagrilintide directly from Novo Nordisk, the manufacturer of those, that they are not on the market yet. So anyone toting that they're in the market is dangerous and a snake oil salesman for me. And I'm like, get away from me. I want nothing to be, I do not want to be around that. excuse me, because it's misinformation. Okay. The great news, though, we're taking a right turn to go because this is a positive, encouraging. I feel like this is positive, encouraging because I got to keep it I got to keep it 100%. And if I'm not, then I shouldn't be on YouTube at all. Then I'm just as bad as these snake oil salesmen trying to tote around these injectables that are not on the market yet. And using that name, I'm like, Eli Lilly, how can they use that name when it's, anyways. Retatrutide coming out. We'll continue to monitor this. It's very exciting for people who are on the highest doses or have hit the, like, I've been on the highest dose now for over a year, total 2 years being on GLP-1 medication with Eli Lilly. And it's exciting to see that this medication could come out sooner. Like in the next 10 months, could be on the marketplace. Like, are you kidding me? That is a dream come true. So, but it still needs to go through all the clinical trials and all the chains that we have to protect us with the FDA and all of these safety nets too for scientific information that is factually accurate and science-based. I love Jesus and I love science, and I'm going to share about both because I love them. Okay. Gonna release it. Good vibes. Taking a right-hand turn, our accountability question of the day: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? We had here a major ice storm and there was a snow delay, so I have not walked yet at all. I literally don't need, I was charging my band. So I need to go get my steps in. I got to get my 10K steps in. That's my accountability. And I'm not going to lift today because I had yesterday Botox and some things done on my face. So I will be postponing my lifting until tomorrow. But I'm holding myself accountable. So feel free tomorrow, be like, did you lift? I love when you guys do that too, by the way. I'm always like, oh, bless you. And also our community spotlight members of the day, we got an update here in YouTube, which I'm really, really excited about. I love that YouTube is doing this for our community spotlight for people who are like the best community people in the Countess of Shopping community. I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. The latest ones are Peter, Tracy, Joanne, Angie, Kimberly, and then there was another one. There was more. There's like a recent update too. Let me pull this up because I want to make sure I'm giving you credit where credit is due. And someone gave me a super thanks. It was the nicest things. You don't have to do that if you do give those super thanks, whether you can give money. The Count and I will donate those to be good stewards. We donate them to our favorite animal rescues. We divvy those up each quarter, and I will gift those elsewhere. We'll be good. It's so flattering that people, like, that's so kind. If you want to help, share this video and click like and subscribe. Literally, I ask for nothing else. And if you feel inclined to shop any of my affiliate links, great, but also equally, no pressure on that either. So going back over to our community spotlight, that was the first one. And then the next people were, okay, that was the same information. So our emoji of the day today is going to be eyes, because our eyes are open, honey. Eyes are glasses. Our eyes are open. We need to be on the ball on these things with the potential things coming down the pipeline of GLP-1s are so popular, of people being unscrupulous. Is it unscrupulous? Is it unscrupulous? I'm saying that wrong. What does unscrupulous mean?
Here's the definition of unscrupulous.
Yeah, unscrupulous, no moral principles, not honest or fair. Yeah, it's unscrupulous principles. To me, it's dishonest, that they're totally, like, you can't use that name. Eli Lilly hasn't released it yet. So unscrupulous fits. So our emoji of the day is eyeballs, and that's a signal to me that you made it this far in the video. Clearly, I'm very passionate today. Shot day yesterday, and I'm like, woo! I use emoji of the day to get to know you better because I truly do care. And if you've made it this far in the video, I really do care about you, like sincerely. I would not do all that I do, or my blood pressure is probably through the roof because I'm so passionate about this. People trust me to be a trusted source and coming to my group, and how dare anybody try to infringe on that makes my blood boil. And it's one thing if it's like, oh, I made a mistake, but it's another to double down on factually inaccurate information and then try to rope people in on dishonest information. And if you disagree with this video, feel free to shoot me an email with bullet points. I can't read long paragraphs with the way my brain works. I will read your bullet points though, always. If I'm missing information, because like I said, I will make mistakes. And if we look back and history is wrong on what I'm saying about these peptide retatrutide companies, but I don't think so. And I certainly wouldn't be injecting it into my body with all of those warnings. Those were, by the way, the ones that I showed were the top 4 sellers of retatrutide. And Eli Lilly, if you're watching, please go legally after them. Go get them. Because a lot of people are buying these and thinking that it's this whole thing, like expand your mind, man. I'm like, no. I will not. I will wait for the clinical trials. I will wait for the safety nets that we do have in place. Are those safety nets in the US perfect? No. But they're safety nets nonetheless. It's not me just being like, oh, let me go make some mayonnaise in here and put it in my face and say that it's Botox. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love you guys a lot. And this is why I come to do it. Literally no makeup, got out of the shower, ran and sprinted in here because I sincerely do care. And I'm passionate about this topic because it's changed my life. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. You guys are like, Elizabeth, zip it. Two things before I zip it though. Many of you guys have asked recently about my travel containers. See, here, this is where people get mad. I talk about things I like, but I've tested this and I love it. It has on there where this is, you can charge it, but it also comes with a power bank. These are the new travel ones that I recommend because you can use a power bank with it for a long time. Or if you're traveling, plug it in. Like on the airplane, I could just plug it in. But it has in here, you put your pens in there. It fit 2 Zepbound pens or 2 Mounjaro pens or 2 Wegovy pens. They fit in here and it was TSA approved. Now there's less expensive ones I've talked about before, but they have the ice packs. If those ice packs through TSA are melted, you could run the risk of TSA not allowing you to take those ice packs with you. So therefore, the drugs don't have to be refrigerated, but to me, I'm like, why not have them at optimal level? I'd rather have this to make sure I'm having an optimal level. I have also traveled to the beach with these. You can plug these into those, you can buy a power bank or one of those other, we have like solar generators, those two. So a couple of options, but they do come with this particular brand. I like them quite a bit. That was one. And then my Valentine's Day list. If you've not bought your Valentine's, go ahead and buy them off my list down below. Click the ... more button and it will have all of my lists. You have to click the more button. Amazon or YouTube's made it hard to see links now in long format videos. So you have to click the hyperlink, the more button to see it. And I have a huge list. I'm gonna go take a breath and go get some water. I love you guys so much, super much. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but I'm not gonna be kind to you if you're giving disinformation intentionally. I'm Countess of Shopping, count my blessings because life is delicious. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys, bye.